it out, and it was doing radar last week, downtown, so, I'd like to get it out and move around. I think that was its biggest problem was
That was the biggest problem we had with the black car.
the black one was, I had the maintenance crew at HQ in Marlboro tell me that the black car's problem was sitting there in that tree. Because it sat in the tree and all the drains filled with pine needles.
Oh,
And then as it rained, the floor, between the carpeting and the floor itself got wet. And when they put the car on the lift, the bottom of the car was all coated with the undercoating. It was fine. But all they do is touch it, and they poke their fingers right through the whole bottom of the car. The car was choking.
So didn't have any miles.
And they said, yeah, that was the problem. The car was nothing.
Good snack.
So well, I had this car, the Crown Vic down there for a recall, which Ford had just recently. And they went through it and they said, yeah, it's still solid. And it had some pine needles in some of the vents and they cleaned them out. And they said, sure, don't park it there.
Okay. So, full-time police officer position.
We've talked about that, and certainly this is my first, on the books, really my first full week here. I spent here quite a bit of time last week. And so I haven't got the, right to the penny, which I would like to have it, exact figures today, just what they are, either way. The budget was set up last year for the third full-time police officer. That's when there were three full-time patrolmen on. And the new budget that did not go through at the annual town meeting, just because of the turmoil involved, I believe, was a slight raise in the year before's budget. And that was to accommodate that third patrolman and the increases in normal wages and expenses and all that stuff. So it was going up, and that had been included in that. So it was already in the works. It's already in play, the budget currently. If we were to pay the maximum amount for a part-timer, meaning that they're level D, and they've been working here for so many years with a bachelor's degree, and pay them the extra the 5 extra shifts a week that the full-time guy would be covering, it's very close. They're within, a few $1,000s, whether we do that or we take, the full-time guy's doing it or a part-time guy's doing it. I even figured in the insurance that we pay on that patrolman, which is not in the budget that's not in my budget. I don't pay that. I don't pay the insurance. I even added the insurance in there to make sure I had a buffer there on the figures, and that we were still within a few $1,000s. I didn't calculate the extra days of Officer Grayson has more vacation than anybody else, and then of course that will increase every year with other officers too. To cover that, to know exactly how much that will increase every year. If you're filling 5 shifts a year, or you're filling 10 shifts a year, or 15 shifts a year, you'll have that figured in. It's about $900 a week, or roughly $1,000 a week. You're going to figure to fill that guy's shift while he's gone. So those are extra things I didn't fuzzy math, just did it. It was pretty close. So the benefits, and the benefits are great. Right now, even with 5 part-time guys, I worked a shift last week. I worked 2 day shifts because there was nobody to cover them. It is the holidays, I understand that. These guys are part-time, they can only work so many hours per week for us. But that doesn't mean they can't work 20 hours for us and 20 hours for Lee, West Stockbridge, Great Barrington, where they can actually maybe.
Theoretically, they're not supposed to do it.
They're not supposed to be in the same retirement?
You added it up, and you work 40 hours a week.
Right.
You don't get it.
And everybody can get into that? Okay, I do not understand that. So that's what these guys are all working in other places or other jobs. And we've had that problem. Certainly, an officer that works the street every day is more familiar with the people. They're more qualified by putting down the law, how they handle themselves, and how they work with me. I've had a couple of guys in these last the holidays, guys going in and out. I'm not there. A couple of guys I haven't seen in a month, and they've done some shifts. And we don't cross shifts, and I can't be here when they're here. So the phone is a great thing. We do a lot of communicating, but a full-time officer is certainly a benefit to the town in many, many ways. I would certainly recommend one that's full-time academy trained over top of anything else because of the sheer cost involved. You pay a guy, you lose him for nearly 5 months. And I don't know if that's available. I don't know if that's the situation we get. But I would recommend that we've come this far. We've gotten to the point where we have had a year now or a year and a half of a budget that was 3 full-time patrolmen plus the chief. I think we should definitely not step back. I think it's a big benefit to the town to go that way.
So Brian, for yourself, do you plan to do any shifts with anyone else?
I do. And that's the other unknown variable there. I really want to do that eats up quite a bit of the budget there, or not eats up, is a big bonus there. If I'm in the office even 2 or 3 days a week, that relieves a lot of the budget right there. And I'm certainly willing to do that, plan to do that. But as I've been here 8 months now, I've experienced a great deal of these. I used to always say to the chiefs, the other chiefs, say, I know you're going off to a meeting and having lunch somewhere. And now I've been to a few of these meetings over the last year. Even before I came here, in Stockbridge, I started going to those meetings. They're valuable, very valuable. The lunch is never that good, but the meetings are well worth going to. And
well, that's professional development.
It is.
Along with
Right.
networking.
The networking and networking is. I've learned that in the last couple of years, but specifically with I've attended two meetings from the Newtown incident just a year ago, and spoken with those people involved, and also attended a meeting with the Marathon Bombers, that group. The commissioner in Boston, PD was there, and they just every meeting they go to like that, they are really pushing for the idea that even more so in small towns, I have to be on a person-to-person level with the chiefs in other towns, neighboring towns, because they're the ones that are going to come help. Whether it's their officers will be under their control, and I need them there to say, okay, I'm going to give you this. This is what you're going to do, and not worry about it again, and then go do something else. And the same thing for myself. Whether when other chiefs can call me and say, okay, you're in charge of this. That's how it has to work.
Schools.
Correct. Right.
How many police officers?
On duty at one time, very, very few.
10?
Yeah, right. 10 is all you're going to get. And so you got to have the
10 towns.
Right. You got to have the chiefs get together and then designate their people to do what they're going to do. And that is where the training is going. It's going that way, and the EMS training is going along the same lines.
And we don't even have state support.
For close by, right.
State police support.
Right.
In any kind of number.
Right, and I had, one of the meetings I just went to last month, I sat at the table with the troopers. And they were kidding because I'm the new chief in the group, so they stick me with the troopers. It was good because Lieutenant Buell was there, and he's the guy in lead. He's the one, barracks commander in lead. A good relationship with Lieutenant Buell and his staff. I've met with him twice now. Just to keep them up to date on what's going on in Egremont and how they can respond and how they can help me and how we can help them when they come down here. So we send them, fax transmissions to tell them if we have something in town we think is gonna happen, that they may be involved in. And it's good, that's a good thing. But these meetings are a lot more important than I think I've ever thought they were before. So those type of things, need to go through. So, but I'm not adverse to working shifts, you know, they can't get guys to work, I'll do the work.
Well, I think we set the budget up so that the chief was doing 20 hours in shifts,
Mhm.
and 20
Yeah.
not in shifts, so that gives us some idea. And I believe at a recent meeting, we took a vote to only hire non-return full-time
I
officers, right?
think we were gonna take that, but we haven't taken it yet.
We talked about it.
Yeah, and I
Right.
agree. If we can make that work, I would rather.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny, we're here, and because we can't really all get together and talk about it, and, you know, I haven't even sat down to see how the past 2 or 3 years' budgets went. Like Mary just said, we planned for 20 hours for the chief and 20 on the chief's time too.
Last,
And
last 2 years, we budgeted to turn back
to do that, yeah,
substantial.
yeah,
Tens of thousands of dollars.
yeah.
So, you know, I think there's plenty of money in the budget for the hours.
Mhm.
It's the additional insurance.
Right,
We
insurance,
budgeted for this,
So,
in the insurance.
it-
So we did do the budgeting for this.
so I would say that with the additional that we will gain, from just what I sat down and worked with, it will cost us in training as we, each year, not just to get new guys on board. Like Bruce was just saying, he spent 230 hours working with Lee before they even let him out in the cruiser. That's the same exact manual that I'm using here. So, I've got 4 guys that have, out of the part-time academy, they have nothing going. So if I can pay one of our trainers to come in and go over this stuff, I'm paying that guy overtime. I'm not paying 4 more guys, I'm not paying, you know, to train 1 guy at a time. So I'd like to set something up like that. But the state is backing out again on all payment for training for police. They've raised the citation fines, a $5 fee on every citation fine to try to help pay Mass Criminal Justice Training Council their budget to get money out to us. But we will be paying for each officer to go to in-service training, and that's it. That's every officer. That's full-time, part-time. They all go the same way. It will cost us on that for sure. More than it used to. Courses we're doing for free. I don't want to do it for free.
I don't know if that's the case, right? You get one operator full-time taking the place of.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly another good point on that, because you're gonna have one guy going to the classes instead of 4 or 5 guys, because he's gonna take the place of all of them.
to cover the same amount.
Right. Yep.
So do we want to vote right now to fill this position? All right. I'll make a motion then that we fill the 3rd full-time police officer slot with a fully academy trained officer.
Second.
Any discussion? I just wanna ask, where does this put Jesse? Can you put him on the outside
That
looking
does
in?
put him on the outside. He's not,
That's
they won't
correct.
accept his waiver, right?
My understanding was that they will not accept his waiver. I've not looked into the background of that, but Jesse did tell me that his understanding was that Chief Bucknell had sent his information in to the council to see if they would accept it. I don't know if it's accepted in Connecticut or not. I think that Jesse told me that he believes that they're going to accept it, so I'm wondering why they would accept it if Massachusetts won't. So I haven't looked into that.
I was just gonna say, could you check on
Yeah.
that? And maybe that we could add our voice and
Yeah.
with a letter to them, you know, say the guy's got, what, a couple of years already experience in this town, something
Right.
like that.
Right. And a history of at least an academy, a full-time academy. I think it's logistics that really messed him up with his timing or whatever, when he was working and then got out and then got back in. And it wasn't like he got out of law enforcement or of that type of, he's still government work, he's still doing the service for the Park Service.
Is there even a paper trail? She claims that she did submit.
So I have not done that search to see that.
That I would even question. If she said she did something, I would want to see the paper trail.
So I'll look into that. That's good.
Hans would have something to add?
Maybe?
I did speak with Mary Powers, director of the MPTC, prior to Chief Shaw coming on board, because we were looking into that to see if we could get him a waiver. I did speak with her. She's someone who I've gotten to know over the years on a personal level and a professional level. Her husband was the director of my police academy, and we have friends who are common, so I know her very well. And I did everything I could but show up and get on my knees and beg her. She said they absolutely will not accept it. It is not comparable. His training, in the services, park services, does not meet the criteria because of certain issues with the Connecticut Academy and the time that has elapsed between now and then. They will not accept that. There was no way to get around it. I sent every one of Jesse's training letters, all of his professional development, all of his experience, and she said it still does not meet the very strict Massachusetts criteria.
You still think personally it's worth a try, Brian?
Look into it, see what you can do.
As long as you answer, you get yes or no.
So, right.
But you can't get it.
So there's no time frame on this, we'll set this up to,
Well, we haven't taken a vote yet.
yeah, right.
My next
No, there isn't a time frame, but yes, there is a time.
Mhm.
Because my next question would be, how would we advertise? Would you want to just
Correct.
advertise locally? Or would you want to advertise?
Well, if you're looking for full-time trained, you gotta see what's available.
Anyway, we have a motion, discussion, all those in favor? Aye.
How did we advertise though the last time? I don't think we spent really any money on that. I think we posted it some.
She advertised and posted it on some site, the police chief said.
Facebook, no?
No.
My position was posted on CGIS and on
Yeah.
Mascops.
Like I'm saying, I don't think that we put it out in any publications that we paid for. I think-
That reaches, CGIS and Mascops reaches a tremendous amount of people.
Yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure it was also posted right after the academy. So the graduates.
Which is coming up, 17th. Next class graduates.
Oh. Do they still have the academy on Magmar?
It's at Springfield, the college.
Oh, that's right,
Stick.
they were on the stick.
Yeah,
They graduate this month?
17th.
Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
So there'll be people looking for jobs.
Yeah.
I've had some interest in a couple already, but there's 2, 4, 5 openings in South County right now. If you do another, if we make this, it'll be 6. There's 6 full-time, full trained academy openings.
And we made.
We'll make it 6.
Between us and Lee, maybe.
Yeah, there's 2 there, 2 Barrett and 1 in,
Cheshire.
yeah, that's not even counting Pittsfield, they're down in that group. So,
Must be one of the Stockbridge now, too.
and then, right, and there'll be 1 in Stockbridge, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Molly, you want to get here, Brian, we'll just do the police facility update.
Sure.
I think they moved in today.
may have moved in, we haven't moved out, okay? So, I know you're all excited about that one.
Moved out of the new police station?
We haven't yet moved out of the old police station, but we have moved in as much as the phone switch that was scheduled weeks ago has been made today. Which means the 2160 line does ring in the new police facility. And it does correctly activate like it's supposed to. If the phone is busy, it will ring in Pittsfield's dispatch, or the Berkshire County Sheriff's dispatch right away. If the phone rings in and no one's there, it will pick up. And there's voicemail options for everybody. Every officer has a, well, I can't say every officer has a mailbox because I don't have it. Somehow, when the person was there doing the work, to get all said and done, I don't have a voicemail, and neither does Rebecca, which I think most of the people that call are going to talk to either me or her. So, we have the mailboxes are set up, but there's no indication of how you get there to them. So, I know I was supposed to be spending my time on some other stuff this week, and the last week, and I've been spending it on things like getting these phones to work, so when they pull the plug, they would actually do what they're supposed to do. So they function properly, but they're a little rough on the edges, and we'll get that. But they have got, they've got great features. They're all the bells and whistles. They do the stuff that, any office phone should do.
Do you need Grace to come back and do that, or could Tom wait his way through?
No, I think that I have a 3-page manual from Gracecom. I downloaded the 140 pages that the full manual has. So I'm going to try to do that tomorrow. And
Don't you have a connection there too? Voice
a voice.
or email connection? Like FaceTime?
Oh, well, we have contacts there.
Oh yeah, we got
It's
yeah.
just whether they really know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I did. So I was fortunate enough to get a hold of a text on Christmas Eve at Gracecom, and he was great help. He got on, which is one of the things that held me up for the last 3 months of moving in here. Our phone was not networked into the network system like it's supposed to be. That was a problem. One of the guys from Gracecom came down here, and in 20 minutes, he had it hooked up. So the guy at the office could call and dial in and change all the settings so that they dial correctly. So when you push 2, it dials the dispatch center in Pittsfield. And when you push 3, it gives you a list of the officers that are available. And he did that from the office. So that was a big deal. But that's what we've been waiting months for that. Just a simple little thing. I got a couple little more simple little things that have been waiting a long time for now that are holding us up. But the phones ring, and the radio is here now too. We moved the radio into the office. So those were 2 things I needed to have happen to get in this building. And they're here, we're in. But a lot of stuff is over in the other building still. We've got to make a place for it. And I couldn't really do that until these things were going to happen. Broadband, who knows? I don't know. That's what I would like to do.
1 or 2 weeks was the last word I got.
Yeah.
What did they say?
1 or 2 weeks.
It's snow, it's cold, but
Yeah.
It's good that it's a public meeting, I can't tell you about the 3 biggest slides of the world.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm from the government.
Yeah.
We have a cell phone booster, much as you do in this town hall, which is an antenna on the roof, and then it boosts the signal inside the building. The problem is we've discovered, and I've had a couple of tech guys come up and really look at it. It may be receiving like 1 bar of service. So when you're in the office, you look like you have 5 bars because it's boosting the signal to the phone in the building. But that 1 bar is just barely hanging on. So as soon as the booster loses that 1 bar, you go from 5 bars in the building to nothing. So my phone will ring, I'll pick it up and say hello, and it goes dead. And I look and I go, no service. I'm like, how can I have 5 bars, 1 second, and no bars the next? And that's how that's happening. So
It works so good in our building now.
you you may be getting just a couple more feet,
I'm telling you, everybody's phone works in there.
and,
Location, when you look at
yeah, it's gotta be nice.
UHF,
Yeah.
it's location, location, location.
So what we've discovered is, these texts I've called about this, have said, what you need is a booster that runs on landlines, or DSL, or fiber, or whatever, and that, Verizon makes one. I think everybody's Verizon carrier, here we all have the cell service from Verizon. They're specific to brand, AT&T, whatever. So if we get a booster, they're $400, something.
Roughly, yeah.
Put that in the office, it will hook to our DSL, and then to broadband, whenever broadband comes, which could be whenever. And then the phone will go out, you'll have full service there, and you'll have a good solid connection, it won't be wavering around like it does now. Unfortunately, we are in the age of the cell phone, and it's too bad, but it is a major communicator for people, that's the way they work. I would like to see it set up, that it would be a hotspot. In Tonopah, we have this service for Verizon, it works in this area. If you're parked at the firehouse or the police station, you're gonna have cell service. That is what, they did in Stockbridge. It's well known that if you go to the fire station or the town hall in Stockbridge, you can get cell service, which is an emergency management. You need, we didn't put a sign out, but it's pretty well understood that people in town know where to go now to get that kind of service.
Stockbridge is like we are.
Very much like we are, yes. It's noted for its poor cell service.
Turn the corner by the red line.
Correct, it goes right off. So, I think it'd be a good idea, put a sign out front, Make your cell call here, pull in, stop here, make your call. Keep people calm.
Don't pay for the new police facility,
Right.
$10
Shit.
should,
Yeah, throw your quarters
Let
on the
park
door.
in the parking lot.
Right. I think that'd be a great service
Park.
to the town. I mean, we did spend money on putting the stick on top of the building and stuff, but at the time, we didn't even have DSL, it was wacky. And I was under the impression that was gonna work. That stick was gonna get the signal, and it was gonna be beautiful, no problem. It doesn't work, and a guy from Motorola, and then another guy came in today, it's a cell phone guy, and said, yeah, that's the problem. You're getting just one little bar, and it's in and out, and it's not enough to make it work.
You're right in the shadow.
Yeah,
You're sitting right in the shadow.
just in and out, yeah. So, speaking of cell phones, I took the recommendation of the board in my contract, and I bought a phone.
Do you now have a number?
I do not have a number. The bill will come right to the PD, or town of Vermont, it's registered to the town of Vermont. I had to pay for it. They would not bill, the corporation would not bill the town. I had,
You know what you,
we got a bill for
I should have told you,
well, you'll get the bill, the monthly bill, but to pay for the phone itself and stuff, because I bought it from the store, and I forwarded it. Because they wouldn't-
That
Because
probably
we have a
is why we
contact.
didn't care that we didn't.
can I make a
return the phones.
suggestion
Right.
in the future? Because we are a small community, we are eligible for the federal GSA phone service. You can call them the GSA contract. They will take your order right over the phone, they do a credit check on you, you have to fill out some credit forms. Takes about 3 days. They'll turn around, give you an authorization number, and you have all of your phones on GSA contract. This phone's a GSA phone.
You should. I just explained to these guys, we get a bonus, we get a discount, we get 15% discount for being a government employee.
It's a state,
Yeah.
it's a state contract price.
Yeah.
Right.
We deal with the state.
None of the other options do that.
So,
I'm, in my days before I got to work here, but I know Pat gave that information out with payroll once, but I got forgotten after that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. So. Okay, we're still in the police facility. Take your turn.